Hello everyone, welcome once again to another Power BI related tutorial by Team Slidescope. In this part we are learning about three very important functions which are very confusing to students, that are MAX, MAXA and MAXX. And as you can see in the entire dashboard, we have used these functions to create these visuals and try to explain their application on these visuals. So this chapter will be focused on these three DAX functions. You can see we will create all these measures: max income, max total earnings, maximum of active, when to use max A, when to use max X, what are the ideal situations will be discussed in this part. So let's get started with that and solve these questions. So this is our part 2 of the employee payroll management data analysis. In part 2 or in part 1, we studied different functions like we studied is in a scope. Okay, we created several calculated columns with the help of concatenate function. We also learned concatenate X. We learned the use of if function. So this is something that you have to revise today. Concatenate X, like here you can see the usage. So in the previous chapter we studied a lot of these functions, rank X, etc., creating simple tables with the help of values function and so on. So our today's topic is about three functions, that are max, MAXA and MAXX, and we will apply this DAX on employee payroll dataset. So in part 2 we are learning about the max functions, right? Max, MAXA and MAXX. Like what is the usage of all of them? Like when should we use?
Max
So
and
max
Max
is, is
when
very easy, right? What you do is you write new measure. Suppose you want to analyze what is the maximum salary or maximum bonus. So we write max salary or max income, and you will write max, and here you will write income,
column name.
your column name, whatever it is. So in our full data monthly income, we will write that. So this way we will get what is maximum income, and we can use a simple card as we were using in previous example. This is a simple card visual, and in card visual we can drag that max income and it will show the data. That maximum income a person is getting is 9,400. We can go to call out value here and do these type of settings that we have done so far. Like you can choose any theme based color, or category label also you can select a different color. Okay, that's your choice. Make it bold. This is maximum income. As max is there, we have min also. So we'll not just study max, but we will also study min. So like whenever you are asked to describe a data, so data is, let's say, income, and you are describing it, so you will write max and you will write min income. Okay, so what will be the min income? Very simple, you will write min, and in min also you have min, min a, min x. So we'll study that as well. So here also you will do the same thing, monthly income. Okay, so this will give you minimum value. So maximum income is this and minimum income is 4019. And in description you can also describe things like standard deviation, standard deviation, variance, and we studied about it. So you can discuss that. But what will max A do? In this case, if I copy this example, okay, and just write a new measure here and write max A, and I'm calling it max A income. So by definition of max A, you will see example like return the largest value in a column, but it will not ignore logical values and text. Okay, and if you will see max, so it returns the largest numerical value or largest string in a column, or the larger value between two scalar expressions, but it ignores logical values. So max A, if I'm writing max A, okay, so you will see the same value with max A also. Here you will see the same value, 9,400, because in monthly income column we don't have any text value. Do we have? We don't have any text value. That's why both of these functions will give us the same answer. But what about active? Active gives us information of who is active and who is not, right? Yes. So if I write max A active, so I'll just copy this, okay? So, and I will create a new measure here, and if I write max A active, so in max A active, if I will write this, so it will create, and now let's just make a copy of it, and it is giving us 1. Why is it giving us 1? Because active, first of all, is a logical test based answer, right? For example, is salary high? What is this column? This is based on a logical test, right? Like true or false. Similarly, active is also what? And remember, in format, I have selected the data type as true false. Okay. Here also data type is true false. So here it is either true or false, but which one is bigger, true or false? Like, yeah, if you go alphabetically, F will come earlier and T will come later. But so here, but the answer it is giving us is what? So the reason for that is, now let's understand this. Max returns the maximum value from a single column. Scenario, what is the highest monthly income, which we just did. And this colon is used in Excel, right? In Excel also, you know, there is power pivot. So there also we can create these DAX measures. So here we can write without it, right? So just ignore that. Now, like max A is also there, but it also evaluates true as 1 and false as 0, and includes logical text if first. So for example, what is the maximum value in a logical column like active? So what is the maximum value? The maximum value will be 1. Okay. If active contains true false, max A will return 1 if any employee is active, or 0 otherwise. Max, now what if we try to do it with the help of max? Like max will also think about this. So in modeling, we again go to new measure and let's do max active. Okay, max active. So when we'll create max active and create this, so MAXX also wants to give some output, right? So this is MAXX active. It will give us a good error. It is saying the function MAXX cannot work with Boolean values. So if you have a column that has a Boolean value, okay, and you want to find out what is the higher value there, then you can use MAXX A, like in our case. That's why I took this example, because we studied many DAX functions on this yesterday, right?
Sometimes in a marketing analysis there will be like a, instead of true or false there will be like a 5 choices.
Like if you have those type of values, let's see. So there is no case of using this. So let's say what is max job level, okay? Like job level column is like what you are talking right now, right? So job level is maximum job level is 4. See, job level here is given as like this. Originally in when I loaded the file, it was a number, it was a whole number. I changed it to text. So here it will work now, even though it is text. See, even though its data type is text, in the column tools it is evident here, but this is giving us the correct answer. We are talking about some logical test. For example, when we are writing max, let's try to create some experimental measures now. So I'm just writing it like MAXA test. So if I write max, it is giving us column name or scalar, okay? Return the largest value between two scalar expressions, okay? So for example, something like, let's try like average monthly income or total. Have we created anything? Or sum of monthly income. Do you get this? Here we are writing max, but let's test that, right? So if we write max test, there is max test created. So if we'll write max a test, we will get some value, right? Do you get my point?
So
Because it is clearly saying, although we have written back, that these can be two values or this can be a list of values, right? Like if we give a list like 56, 78, 98, 78, something like that. So like in that way, so we are providing values, right? So 56, 78, let's see what will it do. 78. So it's just like that, okay? So that's why when we select a column, so for it that column is like a list, and in that list it is selecting the biggest value, but that should be numerical, right? The answer should be numerical. In case of max A, if I write true and false, let's try to write true and false as a function, because true will not be accepted directly. I'm trying that, maybe it is not accepting that. So in case of MAXA, you are not seeing those two things. In case of MAX, you can apply that, but now you can get some kind of error because these are not logical answers, right? So that's why in case of MAXA, we are using a column that's output is true or false. Okay, so like if salary, so if income, if average month, or if minimum income or something like that. So I'm writing if full data monthly income in any case. So here you can see it is only letting us select measures, right? So that's why we created a column earlier. This column is salary high. So it is created on the basis of this logic. Okay. So now in this logic we can apply MAXA. That is use of MAXA. Like when output is Boolean, we can write. So now we will do an experiment. So in this Excel table we have true, false, 5 and hello. Okay. Like Boolean values, numerical values and this. If I simply copy it and if I take it here and I simply enter the data and enter data here, so and we'll name the table as test table and load the data. Okay, so our test table will be created and in that test table there will be these 5 values. In test table I will create a new measure and I will call it MAXA test or max test. Okay, max test in TT. So if I am writing max, okay, and I select a column that is val, so test table val. So if we write it, then this max test in TT is giving me answer as true. Okay, so this is working, but because it is considering it as a text, like because value, this val is a text, so alphabetically it is telling that true is highest value. Good, but if we do max A, will it give the same result? We can do some experiment like this, but you can see max A is giving us 0. Okay, so in a text column, if we have a text column like val that we have here, if I apply max A, then it is giving us 0 as the maximum answer. If I write min A, then also it is giving us 0 as answer. Okay, so that way I told you when we have columns like this where we have actually only Boolean values where max cannot be applied, there we can test and check if we have any true or false values with the help of max A. That can be one use case of it. So this is here, and if you will try to convert it to something else like a whole number, decimal number, or true false, let's say, so let's change the data type. Okay, so it is saying we can't automatically convert the column to true false type. Okay, giving us error. because here we have mixed values. Even though if we say okay, change it to whole number, then also it will not be possible because we have that. So this is why this is not of use for us. And the two cases that we have where we can actually use MAXA in our example in full data is the two columns. One is that is salary high, and another is the employee active. Okay, so this is like official documentation MAXA column. Okay, MAXA reseller margin. So it is giving a simple example. Returns the largest value, the column in which you want to find largest value. MAXA function takes an argument and looks for the largest value among the following data values. So it will be possible on dates also. So for example, we want to find out what is the maximum date here. Okay, so we have joining date. Let's find out. So we are creating new measure. So maximum joining date. So we'll write max. Let's see. So in max, we will write full data and joining date. So it will give us some date as a single value. So we will use that here. Okay. Now let's see what is the maximum joining date per department. So for that we will create a clustered bar chart which will help us in finding maximum joining date per department. So in y-axis we will put maximum joining date as a x-axis, or first we have to select something like department name here, and let's try maximum joining date, and will it allow us to find that. So you can see it is not allowing us, right? Even though if I check, so it is not giving us the data. It is only showing us in tooltips. So for this type of visual, because the answer can be a single text, we can select a table visual, and in table visual you will be able to find that. So in table visual we can go to values and increase its size, and this is telling us the maximum joining date for each department. So yes, we can do it with the help of MAXX, and as per the documentation, MAXA also will show us the same thing. Okay, so we can see that both MAXX and MAXA are working with numbers and dates. They will also work with logical values such as true or false, but that we saw that MAXX will not work with true and false. Rows that evaluate to true are counted as 1. Rows that evaluate to false are counted as 0. So MAXA can be used there. If there are empty cells, then they are ignored in MAX. If the column contains no value that can be used, so MAXA will return 0. Okay, so that is something we have to understand, that if there is an empty value, MAXA returns to 0. If you want to compare text values, use MAXX function. That's why in our example, MAXA was being evaluated to 0. Do you remember? Because in that text table that we created, we have text values, and Power BI is recommending that if you have text values, don't use MAXA, use MAXX function. And that's why in case of text values, what is the biggest value or what is the maximum value here? In case true, alphabetically. if we sort largest to, or if we sort A to Z, then if you will sort A to Z, then also true is the maximum value, right? That's why max is working here, and max A will return 0 because it will not work with these text values. Okay, and this function is not supported for use in direct query. That is a different thing. So following example returns the graded value from calculated, like what is reseller margin, transaction date, so these type of values. And max, use of max can be like this. So like just we saw that max between two values, right? Max between 56 and 78, or max in a column. Parameters are column and expression. Any DAX expression which return a single value, like we saw average income versus minimum income, right? We can calculate that. So here the examples are that when comparing two expressions, blank is treated as 0. So remember, if blank is given, it will be treated as 0. That is max 1 comma blank return 1, and max minus 1 comma blank returns 0. Do you get this part? Or I'll explain it. So suppose I am creating a new measure here. So measure is equal to max 1 comma blank. So blank, as we know, is blank, right? Like it is nothing, blank. What will be the answer of this? Max of 1, because yeah, that's what it is telling, because blank will be treated as 0. If blank is present, it will be treated as 0. So because blank is present right now in the function, so it will be treated as 0, and that's why 1 is answer. If I write minus 1 comma blank, then blank will become greater, right? Because minus 1 is smaller than 0. So that's why you have to check that. Okay, so these are the two cases where we can use max. So here I will just go to column headers and increase their size a little bit, because we are going to use this as a table right now. Make it bold, and I will just enable shadow. Now let's understand the use of MAXX. Okay, as you know, the functions where we have x, as we know, where the functions where we have x, okay, what is the maximum, that is maximum from an expression across a table. So what is the maximum total salary? Because monthly income plus bonus is your total salary, right, across employees. So for that, either you can create a calculated column, okay, or you can calculate something like what is the maximum salary, so without doing calculated column. So that's why we can use MAXX. So in case of MAXX, we can create a new measure here, okay, and in that new measure we can write MAXX. So because I have the formula already written. So what is maximum total earning? So case 1 is, and here the data is full data. So case 1 is if we simply write this as a calculated column and then apply max in it. Do you get the point? Or we can do it directly, that in MAXX you will write your table full data and your expression. So expression is monthly income plus bonus. So whatever is your maximum total earning, you will find that as a single value, and that's why we can, put it here. So this is maximum of active. So although this dashboard does not make too much sense, because we are not actually doing exploratory analysis, but we are learning these functions. So maximum total earning is 10,000 for an employee. So maximum income 9,400. Maximum total earning including bonus is 10,000. And because you saw that when we were getting like maximum joining date, okay, when we were getting maximum joining date, we were not able to convert it into a clustered bar or something like this, okay, but only this type of chart will work, okay. But here when we have the answer as a number, so in that case we can definitely try something like a donut chart or pie chart, sorry. So we will try a pie chart here, a donut chart, and we first of all we will copy the format painter here, and in legend we will put department, and in values we will put maximum total earnings. So actually operations is the department where we have this 10,000 earning, okay. And you can see it is showing in finance also, HR also, marketing also, maximum. So it is showing the exact value here, okay. That 10,350 is the maximum value. 10,000 is exactly in finance. So this 10k, if it is misleading, we can go to, we can select this and value and we say don't give us. So now we will actually get that value. Now it is not confusing. Now we can say yes, operations is the department where maximum total earning by department can be found. Now in title we can write something like this, and we can enable the heading, and you can actually find out these things in different ways. For example, what is the maximum income by department? So maximum income by department, and we can show it as a clustered column chart. So maximum income by department is also in case of operations, okay. If you want to see something else, like for example we are creating a chart here, and let's say we want to list top 10 employees by maximum income, so or by their income. So in y-axis we will put employee ID here, okay. So wherever that employee ID is, I'm checking that, can you see A B C, this is employee, we'll put it on y-axis. I will copy the formatting here, and then on y-axis let's say I will select maximum total earning. You can see employee ID 60 or 55 has the highest earning. If you want to show the number, although we have less amount of space here, but we can enable the data label to show maximum total earning by employee ID, and employee ID 55 has the highest earning. We can show it by country also. And as I told you in previous examples, if we create a map chart, can you guide me how can I show it in a map chart? I want to show maximum total earnings by employee by country in a map chart, but I want to show it properly. How can I do that?
Column in loc.
In location, what will go? So in location, we will put country. What else?
Legend we use department.
But I am not asking department wise.
uh,
My question is maximum total earning by country.
mm,
So basically, basic.
just we can
So basically, when you are creating a chart like this, you will select tooltips. Okay. and in tooltips you will drag your number, whatever number you have to put. Then you will go to visual setting. In fill color you will select some color. Instead of rule you will select gradient. Now you can see minimum values are displayed with this color and highest values are displayed with dark wine, whatever color this is. And now you will be able to see that actually North America in the data set is the country with maximum total earning, and India 10,000, Canada 7,499. Like this is as per the data. Okay, so this is the way to calculate, and we can simply apply the formatting. Like you have to put it in in this conditional formatting, and instead of count of country you have to select that particular measure, so maximum total earning. And then if you want you can add a middle color also. Like if you want we can add a middle color as, let's say, dark pink or something. Okay, so whatever you want. So now you can see which countries are coming at highest level and lowest level. So this is that. Similarly, if you want to rank them, like whichever something has highest, whichever has lowest. So like we have done it by department. Okay, maximum total earning by department is the maximum income, but we also have employee grades. We want to check if grade A is getting higher salary or grade B or grade C. We can create a simple funnel chart also. In that funnel chart we can format Painter to apply the same styling. In category we will put grade. In values we will put the maximum total earning. And here you will be able to see the middle color, the highest color and lowest color. And one thing that we can do here, like when you will see the data labels and values, you see display unit is auto. I will say I don't want to show that, I want to show the exact number. So now you can see in grade A, amongst all maximum earnings, in grade A we have maximum earning of 10,350, B we have 9,800 and 7,902 in grade C, which tells us that grade C is grade A is the best grade to earn more. Next, we also have job levels. So suppose I want to see this by job level, I can also create a ribbon chart. So grade will be listed like that, and here, so on x-axis we have grade and maximum total earning, the same data, but in legend we can add something else. Okay, like we can add job level. So if we add job level, now we can see that in grade A, person with job level 4 has the highest earning. So to get highest earning, if you are in grade A and you are at job level 4, then you will get the highest earning. Why is this blank? Why is this blank? Do you get, like, do you have any information? Like, do you know? Or can you explain? Because if you remember our previous example, in operations we only have A4. Okay, so like we don't have anyone of level 4 in grade C. So this is just the use of MAXA and MAXX that we saw on employee payroll management data analysis. This is part 2. Okay. So today your job will be to try this, and here also we can enable data labels to see those values. So please try
Sir,
this.
I
Yeah,
got a call. I missed.
like here also we can go and apply this formatting to show like who are the high earners, who are the mid earners and low earners. Okay. Here also we can apply the same thing. So we can select this, copy and apply. But here you can see the logic is based on maximum total earning, but it can also be applied on maximum income by department. So I will give you this Power BI file, students who are currently live and learning. So I will give you this Power BI file. You already have the data set. Try this also. Apply max, max A and max X. Similar thing goes to min, min A and min X also. Okay. And this will help us in understanding these functions. Like what is average, average X, what is min, min X. So these type of things, when they are clear, it will give us some advantage while solving more complicated questions, like when to use what. And always see the documentation. Like I have created some documentation. Power BI has a great documentation for DAX. You can take help of Chat GPT, DeepSeek, whatever is your favorite AI tool. Otherwise, we are always here to help. So you can ask them in comment section, or those who are learning directly can ask directly. So these things can be tried today, and let us know if you have any doubts. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.